work, 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 work. To me, I be work, 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 work. See me do me dirt, 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 dirt. So me by that work, 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 work. When you walk a line, 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 line. In the girls and murder, da, 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 da. Try me, I deserve it. Nothing to have you lurking.
Yeah.
You make a like, now you not like it. You know I dealt with you the nicest. Nobody touched me in the righteous. Nobody text me in a crisis. I believe that all of your dreams are duration. You took my heart, all my keys, and my patience. You took my heart, I must leave a decoration. You mistaken my love, I brought for you for foundation.
Hey YouTube, it's your girl Miss Angie. So I just want to say that this is probably my third time trying to do this video, and I just am like almost got to the place where it was like I got discouraged for the moment, and then I'm like, you know what, no, we're gonna try it again. We're gonna try to go ahead and push out this video. So I'm back with another video. I'm not gonna give up. I feel like at times God will put you through tests, and I definitely have been through a test the last 2 weeks. And I'm human and I get it, that is life, but your girl is like, I gotta pass the test. Lord, I'm trying to pass the test. So anyways, without further ado, let's get into the video. This is just a quick video. I didn't want to make this video long at all. I want to actually kind of talk about a topic that a podcast that I had listened to. This podcast is the Mama's Den podcast that I listened to. And I did do a video, I want to say probably about 2 months back, basically on the top podcast that I feel like is, you know, great for motivation. And so this podcast I would definitely add also on the list because they talk about great topics, which I ended up kind of finding them, I want to say a month or two ago, and I've been listening to them ever since because they talk real topics as mothers and just in general, life in general, parenting in general. So I just love the podcast. So the topic that they were actually talking about was more so on the lines of when your kids evolve, and of course I always got my notes because y'all know I stay with my notes. Is basically as your kids evolve, you have to also evolve with your kids. And I look at that from coming from definitely from the level of discipline, for sure, when you have to implement discipline. So let me kind of get into the basis of the podcast, which I actually wrote down 4 key points. And like I said, I would definitely listen to this podcast as parents, mothers. Like we all deal with something, you know, and it's always a constant surprise when you have kids, as we know. So let's get into it. The 4 key points that stood out for me. One of the key points was when you always have to ask your child to do something and you feel like you have to ask them more than once. I have been there. I know we all have had a moment there where we feel like, I gotta tell you to get your book bag. I gotta tell you to get your shoes. I gotta tell you to do this. I gotta tell you to, like, and it's like, I should only tell you one time. I should only have to say it one time and you do it and now that's it, you know? So I feel like in that area, like with me and my daughter, I know when she was younger, the tactic was I would count down. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Did you do it? Like, are you upstairs? Are you handling your business? Like now, understanding as she's older, I have to do different tactics. So now discipline looks like you might have to be on punishment. You might have to go without your tablet. You might have to go without, you know, your TV. These things are now different as she evolves in age and as I evolve as a parent. So when they talked about that, I'm like, yes, that is so true, because I feel like I have to repeat myself. And one of the moms on the podcast also was explaining like the mental development of a child. Of course, they're not going to be mentally developed, their brains as far as and I don't want to, you know, because I'm not a doctor, I'm not a scientist, but basically the whole mental development. Kids still take a minute, so of course they may forget and stuff like that. And us as parents, of course, we looking at it like I should only say it once and that's it. But we have to understand kids are growing. They have to learn the process. So I understood that as well. Like, okay, yeah, developmentally, mentally, you know, it's like that's a process. So she was saying like, yeah, a lot of times you might have to reiterate yourself because that's just a part of the fact of them growing and learning. Another key point was being more stern with your child as you become older, but still having compassion for your child. That is so true, because when they're younger, we're used to them crawling around, playing, that innocent, and now that they get older, we're not prepared for the voicing their opinions, for speaking out loud, like rolling the eyes, hands on the hips. Like, those moments will happen, and you be sitting there like, wait a minute, hold on, like, wait, I'm the mom, I'm the parent here, you know what I'm saying? So the moment of being stern, like having to make sure that you put those boundaries in place and know that, hey, I gotta be stern with you, because I don't want to be up at Walmart or Kroger and you acting up like in the store. Like, I should not have to do that. You should know when we go into the store, don't touch nothing, don't ask for nothing. I came in here for one thing and we out, you know what I'm saying? That's usually how it is. But then you also have that that compassion for your child, because you love your child, because you just want the best for your child. So for me, I definitely am in that stage right now, dealing with that. Another thing that one of the moms had mentioned was not trying to be the mean parent. And I also kind of added this to it, not trying to be the mean parent, but still having your child have respect for you. I feel like, yes, I don't want to come off being the mean parent. I don't want to do that. I don't want to have to yell. I don't want to have to cuss. Because, I mean, we all know as parents, we have those moments. I don't want to have to do that. Lord, and I be asking God, please help me, because I just need the strength. Like, I don't want to have to do that. But at the end of the day, it's like I still want to instill this into my child, because I want her to know that you have to respect your grandparents. You have to respect your mother and father. You have to respect us. But at the end of the day, I gotta put you in place, because in the real world ain't gonna have that. The real world not gonna hug you. They not gonna kiss you and say it's okay. The real world gonna serve it to you how it is, and that's just the fact. So I gotta make sure that I'm equipping you to be the best that you can be out here in this real world. So that means mommy has to be tough sometimes. But I don't want to be the mean person. I don't want to be the mean parent. That's not where I'm coming from. But tough love is going to allow you to be the best you can outside in this world, because we know how the world is, and they out here brutal. Like, it's brutal. So that was another key point that I really like. I was like, okay, I can relate to that. Like, you don't want to be the mean parent. Like, I don't want to be that person, you know? Now the other thing that was interesting that they talked about too is when your child knows what they can get away with. Like, there's some times when I can know that the tears ain't the real tears, but you just want me to give in. And I had to learn, like, we ain't giving in. We ain't giving in. I said what I said. I still love you. I'm still there for you, but that's it. Now, before, in the younger years, yeah, you could probably get me, and I probably didn't think at the age of 3 kids could trick you like that, but they can to a certain extent. So, I mean, in that process, yes, you have to know when your kids is trying to pull the wool over your eye, because at the end of the day, it's like, hold on, wait a minute, is them real tears? Like, are you really, like, what? We gotta evaluate this here. So yes, knowing what your child can get away with. Now this is more so my personal issue. They didn't really go into topic on this, but it all kind of fits within the podcast, you know. But the deprogramming your child from being spoiled is hard for me, because, and I don't want to go into detail, but I feel like in a lot of ways, me growing up, and I had a 2-parent household, and now my daughter seeing, you know, her mother and father are not together, so it's 2 different households. I just wanted her to know that, and I know that family and friends, everybody always helps, but coming from me personally, I just want her to know that I had her, I got her, and so I didn't want her to miss out on anything. I always wanted her to have, and because like me growing up, and it was more so materialistic stuff, I didn't have, you know what I'm saying? I didn't have a lot of the name brand stuff or a lot of the stuff that kids were growing up with. But at the end of the day, yes, I had 2 parents that loved me and everything, but I just wanted my child to know, like, I got you. Is this what you want? I got you. I can get it. Christmas, birthdays, I got you. So it's like having to deprogram and letting her know, especially having a younger brother and now being in a blended family where, you know, is not just her anymore. It's hard because you have to deprogram your child from knowing, hey, it's not just all about you. It's other kids in the household, and this is how it's going to look. So, and I, you know, shout out to my best friend, because yesterday I had to text her and let her know how I was feeling because it was difficult. You know, it's just that whole stage of deprogramming, trying to get your child to understand that, yes, in the same way I have to discipline you and I have to show you what the right from wrong. And my child, she's great. She's good in school. She listens to her teacher. She's awesome. It's just those moments where you just have to have those teachable moments where you have to sit down and tell your child, no, we're not going to do this. This is different. Now you have a younger brother. You have to be the example for your brother. So the deprogramming, y'all got to pray for me, because that's hard. Because when you go from was the only child to now a full blended family, and now roles have to be, you know, rules are enforced. And I know at home I was a lot lenient, you know, I was, oh, okay, go ahead, we're going to do this and do that. But now I really have to put my foot down because I want her to be the best that she can be when she gets older. So it's a process. It's truly a process. And the last one that was so important is that each child in the household will all be parented differently. And you have to look at it, whether you have boys, girls, that's also different parenting right there in itself. When you look at the fact of parenting as far as the age, as far as different, you know, it's just different personalities, you're going to parent different. And so now I'm looking at it like, okay, this, you know, the way I parent with my daughter is going to be different from the way I parent with my son. And so it's just truly a process. But these were just a few key points that I had took from the podcast. I definitely recommend listening to their podcast. I have probably listened to almost every episode, because the situation that they talk about be situation that moms and parents really go through. And I'd be like, I needed this podcast. So anyways, I just thank you guys for watching this video. Didn't want to make it long, but please like, comment, and subscribe to your girl's channel. And I'll check you guys out on the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.